Did you see this moment? Prince Harry hesitates before signing, glances back at Meghan, and waits for her signal. On the surface, it might look small, maybe even polite, but in the world of body language and narcissistic dynamics, this is huge. Some experts, like Judy James, claim Meghan wasn't being controlling here. I respectfully and completely disagree. In fact, when you slow this clip down, you can see Meghan directing Harry's every move and even giving a sharp look to the woman who suggested Harry go first. That's not partnership, that's control. And if you've ever been in a relationship where you felt you had to pause, glance at your partner, or wait for their approval before doing something simple, you'll recognize exactly what's going on here. Let's get into it, but before we begin, here's the intro. Welcome to Revealing the Narc. Join me as I highlight narcissistic traits in celebrities and public figures. Everything here is in my opinion and not professional advice. If you enjoy the analysis, please like and subscribe. Happy Saturday, everyone. I love it when I wake up in the morning and there's a Judy James body language article out about Harry and Meghan. This one specifically is about their visit to Dublin. This is very early on in their marriage. There are going to be clips here that you've seen before, but let's get into it. Let's look at them a little bit more deeply. And let's also see if we are in agreement with Judy James. Usually I am not, and this time it's not so different. The article is titled Revealed, the eye-opening moment royal fans missed when Meghan Markle showcased her dynamic with Prince Harry, who felt anxious as she took control, according to body language expert. That last part I agree with. Meghan absolutely took control, but the motivation behind it is a little bit deeper than just an anxious Harry. The article begins in July 2018. Prince Harry and Meghan undertook a 2-day visit to Dublin shortly after their wedding at St. George's Chapel. During their visit, they signed the visitor's book at the government buildings in Dublin with the then Taoiseach Leo Varadkar. I hope I pronounced that right. The article then quotes Judy James as saying, "We assumed we were seeing new bride Meghan nervously learning the ropes, being ushered and protected by her confident and experienced new husband." But in fact, looking at the less than subtle signals now, the opposite appears to have been true. Judy added, "Harry shows signs of acute nervousness and anxiety here, while Meghan appears regally gracious, quietly alert, and often in control." Well, those are some adjectives to describe Meghan, right? Analyzing Harry's body language when he first steps out of the car to be greeted by the Irish Taoiseach, Judy said he fiddles with the buttons on his jacket to comfort himself. These auto contact rituals are an exaggerated version of the self comfort rituals his father, Charles, has used for most of his life, she said. Harry adds one auto contact self soothing touch that his father has never used with a constant touching and holding of his wedding ring. The picture you see here is of them walking in. So this is shortly after they got out of the car, and you see that Harry is messing with his button. But why don't we look at that footage when Harry is stepping out of the car? And here's that footage. Harry is stepping out. He is fixing his button, and you see Meghan come close by. They shake hands. Meghan has her hand shaken as well, and Harry continues messing with his button. I did want to slow it down and zoom in a little bit, and you'll see that clip showing up now. So this is the zoomed in version. It looks like his coat has two different buttons, so he is able to button both of them by the time this interaction is concluded. The article continues and says Meghan then moves into the lead role, steering Harry and adding reward pats when he gets things right. Can we just stop here? Isn't that such a weird thing to say, that your partner gives you reward pats? Judy, these words are even red flags. I mean, if you have to describe that someone is giving someone else reward pats, doesn't that make you just pause and ask yourself what in the world is going on here? I don't know, maybe Judy is just overwhelmingly optimistic. The article then says, in many ways, it looks like a complete role reversal or role takeover, with Meghan looking like the confident and rather protective royal, showing her nervous looking new partner the ropes. That's exactly what's happening. It's been happening from the beginning. At this point, Harry and Meghan have been married 2 months, but we saw this behavior as early as Invictus 2017, which was when they were first pictured together. The article continues and says, as Varadkar walks along talking to Harry, Meghan inserts herself into the conversation by using a broken wing gesture where the hand is raised and wrists drooped in a celebrity ritual, and by a preening touch to her hair, which would naturally attract attention. Here's a clip of that moment that they're talking about. And what we'll do now is we'll watch two different clips that are leading up to this moment. This clip is after the handshake clip that we watched a couple of minutes ago. You see Harry is still messing with his button, and I always felt whenever I would watch this clip that Megan was exaggeratedly moving her hand or her arm in that way, swinging it back and forth, hoping that maybe Harry would hold her hand. That was always my impression. And I felt maybe Harry was messing with his button because he knew or he felt it inappropriate to hold her hand. And keeping his hand busy was an easy way, I guess, to avoid PDA. Now, this next clip is when they're walking in, and you see Megan see her elbow juts out like that. And it's surprising to me because when she does make that broken wing or whatever gesture that Judy James described, Harry actually looks towards the Taoiseach instead of towards Megan. Let's go back to the article. The article says when the pair walk into the signing room, it is Megan arriving first, looking confident and graceful, but she quickly turns to take control of Harry, extending her arm with her brows raised in a gesture of authority as she takes his arm and steers him towards the guest book. Harry responds by placing one hand on his chest in a passive ritual that seems to suggest he is happy to be steered here. Once Harry is signed, he again looks unsure, holding his pen up while Megan takes it confidently with a knowing smile. There is a point where Harry tries to steer Megan forward first, but she is more dominant, standing back and putting a hand on his back to take charge. So let's watch that next clip. I'm going to play it first in its entirety and in silence. I think this is a good opportunity to see if you spot anything amiss and if you are in agreement with Judy James. Here is that clip. If you feel comfortable, please share your thoughts in the comments, and I'll show you the things that I noticed. The first thing I see is Megan does walk in first. She glances over at Harry, her eyebrows raised, like she's giving him permission. It's okay, go ahead. The eyebrows raised, the look, the arm gesture, that is giving permission. And that is why the thumbnail for this video is permission granted. It's from my inspiration is from this clip where clearly Megan is giving Harry permission to move forward. In the next moment, the lady in red gives permission to Harry as well. And Harry's stunned. He looks back at Megan for approval. He's really confused. He doesn't know what to do. He even shakes his hand a little bit, almost in defeat. And Megan herself, she doesn't like this is my impression. She doesn't like that someone else is telling Harry where to go. I think ultimately that's why Megan looks mad. It's not necessarily that Harry went first, but that someone else had the audacity to tell her husband, who she controls, where to go and where to stand. I recognize that those are some harsh words and harsh conclusions, but that's just what I see and that's the gut feeling that I get. And again, all of this is in my opinion and allegedly. Let's continue with the article. It says when Megan turns to the seats behind them, she raises an arm to steer Harry by waving him in that direction. Then she lifts her left hand to take his elbow to steer him into his seat. We can see Megan steering Harry again as they approach the red carpet outside and as Harry stands folding his notes and playing with them after his speech. We can see Megan's very firm hand appear to tug them from his hands and pass them to an aide standing behind. Now, I couldn't find the clip that they're talking about here, the red carpet that's outside and notes and the speech that's being made, but I do have the clip of when they are exiting the building. Here's the clip when they're sitting down. Nothing really happens, I feel, in these clips. Harry does seem a little bit hunched over, his shoulders seem forward, but Nothing major strikes me. I do notice that the T-shuck also has that same type of posture, so it could be that the chairs are just uncomfortable and make people have that posture. And finally, here's the last clip as they're walking out. Again, I don't really see much in these last few seconds of the clip I was able to find on YouTube. I want to finish this video out by talking about approval seeking dynamic, which is such a major thing I think we see in the short clips from this video. When Harry looks back at Meghan for approval before signing, it shows a learned dependency. In healthy dynamics, he wouldn't need her nod or her eyebrows to be raised for him to perform a simple public gesture. This is a red flag for coercive influence. Harry's default is to check in with Meghan, which suggests conditioning to avoid displeasing her. It echoes the narcissistic tactic of making the partner unsure of themselves unless they're being guided. And again, this is so early into their marriage. I can't even imagine how bad the controlling behavior must have gotten by this point. I'm curious to know what you think about all this. Please drop your thoughts in the comments. I'm going to expand on this approval seeking dynamic in my Patreon video that will post around the same time as this YouTube video will go live. And I want to talk about why narcissists condition their partners to seek approval. And I'm also going to give 5 red flags of these approval seeking dynamics. If this was interesting to you, please like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you'll know every time I drop a new video. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video and you're looking for a meaningful way to support something beyond the screen, I'd love for you to consider making a donation to the National Domestic Violence Hotline in lieu of super chats and super stickers. They provide 24/7 support and resources for people in unsafe or overwhelming situations, whether that's emotional, physical, or just hard to name. Their information is on the screen should you need to contact them, and you'll find the link to donate in the description of this video. Every little bit helps, and it means a lot. Thank you again for watching, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye, everybody.